This week, we continue our journey to the south. After having a blast catching bass and crappie with Jackie Smith in St. Louis, we're driving down Highway 44 to our next destination, Chimney Rock Lake, Oklahoma. Our good friend Lucas Steward from Lawrence was already there pre-fishing and mapping the lake using his flat-screen TV. His Lawrence HDS 12 Touch. Plus, testing out Mirage Revolution on shallow water. We'll go floating on Crooked Creek, the Blue Ribbon Smallmouth bass fishing stream in the state of Arkansas. Welcome to Hobie Outdoor Adventures. Each week, we'll take the Hobies and peruse the country in search of adventure, fun, and fish. Whether we're drifting a stream, dissecting a lake, or covering an ocean, we'll show you the tips and tactics to make your next trip successful. Come with us, set your sail, and discover what life in a Hobie is all about. This is Hobie Outdoor Adventures, Road Trip Edition. Now, last week, we began our road trip in St. Louis, Missouri, fishing with Jackie Smith, the legendary NFL Hall of Famer. Now we're heading out to the next stop, Chimney Rock Lake in Mayes County, Oklahoma, and it's a long drive after a long day of fishing.
Beautiful sunset, though. What the? No yawning, boy.
What do you mean? I'm tired.
6 hours on the road will make a man tired, but I'm the one that's got to drive, so I kind of need you to stay with me. You start yawning, I'll start yawning.
You want me to put some music on? So what's the plan with Luke?
He's bringing a couple of the 12-inch touches.
Okay.
And it's like having a TV screen on your kayak.
That's going to be crazy.
Yeah. It'll be fun to see what we can see with those things.
This lake we're going to go fish, I think it's the deepest lake in the whole state of Oklahoma.
Chimney Rock Lake covers 762 acres, and the deepest part of the lake is 182 feet. It's a reservoir in Mayes County, Oklahoma, on the Saline Creek arm of Lake Hudson. The Grand River Dam Authority prohibits swimming and the use of internal combustion engines on the reservoir.
I kind of like fishing places other people are scared to fish.
Yeah. No, it'll be good. He's pretty confident we'll get into some nice bass.
I'm
excited.
Get excited to see new lakes, don't you?
That means trees in the water too.
Yeah, which hopefully means clear water, which...
Pitch up on some trees. I don't know. I guess we're going to be fishing kind of deep since the water's so warm, but
yeah,
it never hurts to try.
95 degrees or maybe better for swimming than it is fishing.
We're on the road for about 7 hours last night before we got into Oklahoma pretty late. Spent until about 1 a.m. in the morning rigging up rods and everything, and then we woke up bright and early to get on the water this morning.
This place has been phenomenal fishery for me. I've had multiple days out here where I can't catch anything under 4 pounds. It's a really cool lake because they pump water in and they pump water out, so it keeps a current in it, and there's lots of bait fish. The fish are always healthy.
This is one of the stops I've been really looking forward to, getting here in Oklahoma and meeting up with Lucas Steward of Lawrence. He's the product manager for Lawrence, and I do the product management for Hobie Cat. So we do a lot of emailing back and forth, phone calls. We see each other at trade shows. But the really cool thing I was looking forward to was getting out on the water with him and spending the day using the Hobies, using the Lawrence electronics, and catching a few fish. How do you like being able to stand up on the Pro Angler?
Oh, it's great.
Makes casting and spotting fish just a little easier, huh?
Well, flipping and pitching for bass, how else can you flip and pitch properly without standing up?
Yeah.
And then for me, not just getting the bait into the spot you want it, but setting the hook on the fish to get them out of that.
Whoa, come on. I just got tapped.
The great thing about kayaking is, you're all out there independent. We each had our own kayak, our own fish finder, and I really wanted Morgan and Lucas to spend a lot of time together fishing. So I kind of headed off my own direction and started fishing some different areas. Found a couple techniques that really, worked, mainly the Cinco. Good. That's my fallback, sit down, whatever I can do to find a fish technique, and I use it anytime I can. I rig it weightless, Texas rig, and you know, I'll fish it in anything less than 10 feet of water.
Hey, I'd say pedal on up here a little faster. Oh, here's a fish on.
There you go.
And those shad just scatter when I hooked up on him. Right in the beak. Little fish, but fish nonetheless. Thank you, buddy.
This episode of Hobie Outdoor Adventures is brought to you by Lowrance. Find, navigate, dominate with the new HDS Gen 2 Touch. Power Pole Micro Anchor. Swift, silent, secure, and small. And by Columbia, trying stuff since 1938. Welcome back to the special Hobie Outdoor Adventures Road Trip Edition. We're on Chimney Rock Lake with our special guest, Lucas Steward, Lowrance Product Manager.
Hobie and Lowrance have been doing business together for a long time, but just recently we were looking for ways to take our partnership to the next level. Basically brainstorming and figuring out how to do away with the issues people saw with adding electronics to kayaks, and we worked with Hobie to be able to come up with a very unique design because it's protected inside a water trough. It's mounted right in the middle so you don't get any air bubbles. The performance is great. There's no messy installation. Everything's already pre-rigged for you. It's a really great setup.
This thing's a kind of a crazy lure. It walks the dog and it pops.
Yeah. The key, I think, this time of year with that bait is to make it spit more. Because like, if you watch what the other, like that, yeah. You want to have it spit.
Got it. I was sticking to throwing that topwater pretty hard this morning. I knew I probably wouldn't be as successful as the other guys, but I love throwing topwater. Then all of a sudden Keaton starts catching one fish after the other on a weightless Senko. So I changed over to that, and lo and behold, it started working. So we did pretty well on weightless Senkos and drop shots with some little worms on there. And from there, we picked it up, throwing some crankbaits, got some fish on those. That's why I missed him. He was a mini-me. Oh, he's a fat little guy. Got a belly on that little guy. Small. He's been eating well. All right, where is your mother or your dad? I need to go catch him.
Feels good on a spinning rod. On it, drop shot.
Nice.
Here we go.
Oh yeah, Keith.
Little Kentucky, they're not big, but.
Morgan, it's your turn.
Okay.
All right, Morgan.
Make it a triple. Love the drop shot. He whacked it. I was just drifting with it and picked it right up. Off he goes.
Oh, there's the siren. The fishing's about to get good.
It's almost like ringing the dinner bell. I mean, those fish just know it's time to go out to the deeper water, get on those bigger bait fish.
All right, got one. He was deep. I'm in nearly 40 feet.
Throwing the drop shot?
Yeah. Booger. Thing I like about the drop shot over crankbaits is the hook's always right in the top of the mouth.
Yeah.
These are fat little fish, you know it?
There's a lot of bait for them to eat.
They're feeding up good. Yeah, I just switched to a little shad bait. So, maybe. Lucas!
All right, man.
Oh, drummage! No!
Whoa,
Spoonbill!
Classic. Yeah, good. Get those little ones out of that hole.
Now you're in Oklahoma, that's called a Gaspergoo.
So I've got smallmouth, largemouth, drum, sunfish.
There you go.
Getting the full Oklahoma experience. I have a few kayaks at home, and I have a few Lowrances on them. One's a 5-inch, one's a 7-inch, but neither of them are a touchscreen. So today was my first time trying out the HDS touchscreen, and it's kind of like the Hobie Mirage Drive. Once you try it, you can't go back. Luke looked like he was running a flat screen TV on his Pro Angler 12 today, but man, that thing's really functional. He split his screen up so he had structure scan, down scan, sonar, and his map going all at once. So that's really what you use a fish finder for. It's an amazing tool for getting yourself to that spot where you're gonna find those fish and not wasting time searching around. He knows the bottom makeup of this lake really well because he's been running the inside Genesis for a while. So the cool thing with that is you can tell differences in hardness. So you can tell where there's rock or there's silt or whatever.
What's cool about Genesis is Morgan and I both have just been recording our sonar today, and we can just upload it to the site and our Inside Genesis store, and we get it back as a map. And it's really cool. A lake like this where hardly nobody has a map of is such an advantage. I mean, we know exactly how to go target, 15 feet, and when the wind's blowing this direction, we can look at it right on a map, where most other people just see an outline of this lake.
You can kind of feel guilty sometimes calling this a job, representing Hobie with Hobie Outdoor Adventures, and fishing across the country, meeting great people, great food, great lakes, and you know what? The great thing about this is the sunrises and sunsets. We're up at sunrise and we're traveling at sunset, so we're seeing some beautiful country, and it's just something that you just kind of realize that you're getting to see something that you overlook a lot every day. So take a little bit of time to get up a little bit earlier and get up that sunrise and see what's the day's breaking and what it's bringing to you. It's a special time and you'll be better for it.
Well, coming up, an unexpected opportunity turned up. Keaton and Morgan found a local creek famous for smallmouth, so we decided to jump in. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the special Hobie Outdoor Adventures Road Trip Edition.
Along the trip, we found ourselves with a free day, and so last minute we started doing some research. We knew we were in Arkansas. We knew we wanted to try to catch some smallmouth, so we started asking around. Lo and behold, Crooked Creek is one of the best fisheries in the state. We stopped by Dalley's Fly Shop, got some information on where we could put in and take out.
Whoa, look at all these flies.
We're looking for Bill. Bill, Keaton Oaf, Hobie Cat, how are you?
Good to see you.
Hey Bill, how you doing?
How are you?
We called this guy. He had like 30 minutes to get us shuttled. He had an appointment to make. And so he drove by, honked at us, and we just jumped in and followed him, dropped us off in the middle of nowhere, handed him my keys, and he's gone. The next thing you think of is deliverance. We didn't want to be stuck on this creek. Oh, he gave us 2 bits of information. He says, number 1, he goes, when you see the railroad trestle, you're about a 1/4 mile from your destination. He goes, and it's hard to find, but it's a concrete ramp. Good enough. We hit the water and started fishing.
Crooked Creek has received national acclaim for having some of the best smallmouth bass fishing of any stream, and its reputation is well deserved. Ideal habitat and an abundance of crayfish, hellgrammites, and other smallmouth bass foods combine to produce large numbers of quality fish. 2 to 3 pounders are fairly common, and 4 to 6 pound smallmouth bass are not unusual.
There's a good hole right here too. There's some smallmouth. One good one in there.
Oh yeah, we missed that one, didn't we? That's what's hard about this
There's
clear
another
water.
good
You're
one.
right up on it before you even get a chance to fish
Well,
it.
this right in front of us looks pretty good. I say we pull the kayaks up right here and sneak up on that hole.
You know, we figured out really quickly that these smallmouth were going to be really at the backs of pools. So we would have some current, go over some shoals and drop in and create a pool. But those fish were typically at the back of that pool. And so we had to be really strategic in the way we fished it. Sometimes, we would get out and beach our kayaks and walk around to get better access to each pool so we could fish it better. And I'm telling you, Morgan did a great job. He hadn't fished rivers that much, and he adapted, and he started kicking my tail real quickly. Dude, look at those
Keith.
colors, man.
I know, he's a beauty, huh?
He's
a
pretty.
tubby little fish. Get that crawdad. We'll go ahead and let him go.
Yeah. You know, it's unbelievable how shallow a kayak will run. We had the Mirage drives pulled, and we had them plugged so they paddle well. You know, you're floating in 4 inches of water, gin clear water. And it's so serene, so peaceful as you float down the river.
Look at him go. Oh my God.
We saw deer bail in the water and swim across in front of us. That was cool.
Yeah, look at that one down there. Feels like a better one, Keith.
Yeah? Man, you're schooling me on these smallies.
This is a largemouth.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we finally got one of those largemouths we've been seeing. Hey, you're not a smallmouth. You're not allowed to live in rivers, man. I think this is maybe bigger than anything I caught in Oklahoma, too. Pretty cool, huh? I think that's my fish of the day.
Good job.
Stay tuned. Keaton and Morgan are running out of daylight, and they literally have no idea how far the destination is. This episode of Hobie Outdoor Adventures has been brought to you by Daiwa, advancing the sport of fishing, Ram Mounts, made in the USA, your best connection, and by Hobie Polarized, trusted, quality, heritage. Keaton and Morgan spend their extra day on Crooked Creek, one of the best fisheries in Arkansas, and they have to get to their destination before dark, but they keep seeing fish and can't pass them up.
Oh, careful, it's underneath you.
Okay. Got it?
He likes your kayak.
Here, grab onto my rod and pull yourself in.
Got it?
Yeah.
Would you get that fish for me, Morgan?
Sure.
Hey, first Crooked Creek smallmouth. Yeah, there's a lot of fish in here. And I'm sorry I'm spooking them, but I can't stop my drift. Ah, bye-bye, buddy. Man, they're pretty. Man, he pulled a little drag, Bubba.
Yeah. So that's the new, ooh.
Oh,
hello.
yeah. You okay?
Woo. We were just drifting down this little stream and I cast up behind that log over there. And this guy was hanging out. He ate that little crawdad. So, get him released. Nice fish. Come on, little guy. Well, there you go, Keith. A little bit of a change and we got a fish. Just a little guy. Hit the crankbait. They're pretty aggressive. You can see how this water is moving a little bit slower, and that crankbait did the trick. Smallie?
No, a perch. You know, we've gotten onto a good perch bite. When I was a kid, every summer I hit the river, and I spent a lot of time on it, cruising down rapids. We'd go down on our backsides, but it really kind of brought back some of those memories. The shoals weren't big here, but you know, every now and then we'd pick a long one. We'd go, you know what? Let's just paddle it. Let's forget fishing, and we'd just kind of cruise down and paddle the shoal and get down to the next body of water, and that was just fun. Kind of reminiscing, brings back to what I really love to do. The main theme was obviously to be on the White River catching trout, and we just realized we had an extra day, and so we crunched this trip in. We picked a long trip today at the end of the day, so we're hoping we can get back by dark. The thing about crunching a trip in is we didn't get started till late, and we got started late in the day, and it was hot and humid. We each had a couple bottles of water, wish we'd have had 6 more. You know, when you go blindly and have never been on the river before, and the sun starts going down, you start thinking, just how long have we traveled? Where might we be? And then once again, deliverance music starts playing in your head. It may have been Morgan singing it, I'm not sure, but I swear I heard it. And the sun was down, and I was starting to wonder, are we gonna be camped out here on the shoals, or are we gonna make it back? I think we're gonna need to get on the way. The sun is going down in a hurry. We knew that we were running out of daylight, and I kept telling Morgan, man, we've got to get on it. We've got to get on it. And this creek is so chock full of fish that, and it's clear, you can see them, that we'd stop and fish, we'd stop and fish. We pushed our daylight to the max to get this trip in, and it was worth every minute of it.
Woo! Oh, railroad trestle.
Yeah.
Oh, we made it, man. I was getting worried there for a second.
We're not gonna have to sleep on the river. Oh, that was crazy. So we know we're about a quarter mile from our destination.
So that means we can start fishing again?
Means we can start fishing again. We were pumped about our stop on Crooked Creek. It was random. We took what time we had and fished it. And we fished it with the gear we had. We didn't really get to go to the store and plan and prep very well. We had a great trip. We caught a lot of fish, not big ones, but we caught a lot. And that's what's important, is catching fish. We experienced a new water. Next time we will do better, and we plan on doing it again.
Next week, our Hobie Outdoor Adventures Road Trip Edition continues. The next stop is White River, Arkansas. We haul our Hobie kayaks all the way to the famous Gaston's White River Resort and targeting trout. Stay tuned for our next episode of the special Hobie Outdoor Adventures Road Trip Edition.